What's up, guys? Just gonna do another vlog on the BRZ, and not a whole lot new really. At 9,500 miles, so I don't know. Kind of seems like a lot, I guess, for just getting it this summer. So, but I love driving it. It's a kind of short, windy road, but it's on my way to school, so it's still a fun one to catch if I get a couple extra minutes. One thing I love about this car is you can be going the speed limit, and it feels like you're going faster than you are sometimes, but it handles so good you don't feel like you're out of control or anything. Especially because I drive a F350 sometimes too, and big old truck. It handles nothing like this. Two polar opposites. So, especially after being in the truck and then jumping in this, it's just so much fun. I'm just on my way to school. The last class of the last class of the semester, and fire department is training. So kind of excited, but next week is finals, so we'll see. It should be fine. I feel confident in the class. Feel confident for next week, so not too worried about it. But definitely ready for winter break. Going to be going out to Breckenridge in Colorado to go skiing and snowboarding. So definitely going to be doing some video footage about that. Hopefully soon I'll have a new camera. I know the audio on this one is not that great, but it's what I got, so I'm gonna have to deal with it. So, but yeah, just having a nice little drive. It's kind of been rainy here, like the past, 4 days, so it's kind of nice just not to have any rain, really. It's still overcast, but at least it's not raining, so it's good. Eventually, I want to get an exhaust with unequal length headers so I can have some soupy rumbles, and maybe some wheels with a wider tire, maybe some like 18x9s. So I don't know. Haven't really decided, but once I do end up getting the wheels, I think I'm gonna go with Boston. I think that's Boston. If you watch the Dipcast or anything with, or podcast with dipyourcar.com, they've teamed up with them, and there was a video about how they make their wheels and all the stuff that they go through. So I mean, it sold me on the quality at least, but you pay for that too, so. Which is fine, but it just means you gotta work harder, right? So I don't know if you can see it, but this building right here and this pink building coming up are owned by my family, which is kind of cool, because I drive by it just about every day when I go to school. I don't know. Just one of those things, I don't know if other people do that, but I mean, like, things happen that you remember. I don't know. And as I'm driving, I recall those times. I don't know if other people do that, but whatever, I do. So. Yeah, so yesterday I was going down the highway and I had It's like a white BMW M3, I think it was, and it's either M3 or M5. I didn't catch it, but let's see. But he kept wanting to race, and I'm like, dude, like, I don't know. It seems like everyone thinks the BRZ is fast. Like, it's not fast in a straight line at all, but it's definitely fast in the turns, which, I mean, that's why I bought this car, was because it handles so good, like I said, I have a truck, so I don't, if I need that, I can always drive that. And then I've got this, and I also have an Evo 10 that I just got. So, holy cow, that retaining wall is demolished. But like, if I want power, I'll hop in the Evo, you know what I mean? An oil change and a couple things like that. And then it needs new brake pads because they're worn, and it's annoying, because it's not metal to metal, but it's close enough that the tab is scraping the whole time, so the warning tab. So once I do that, then done. So yeah. So like I said, if I want power, I'll just drive the Evo. And don't get me wrong, I think it handles good too, but I wouldn't be surprised if this thing kept up with it, if not beat it, especially with different tires on. So no, you don't have to stop when turning right. See, this is a fun road too, except for when you have Hondas in front of you that want to go 15 miles an hour up the hill. Yes, 15. So 20, 22. Duh. So yeah, as far as if you're thinking about getting a BRZ, as a daily, I mean, I daily mine, except for in this winter, I'm gonna put it away once the first snow falls. But because they put salt down around here, and it just annihilates the vehicles. Like underneath my truck, it's all rust, and it's I mean, granted it's a 99, but they just put so much salt, and it's humid all the time. It's just not a good combo. But yeah, I mean, I love driving this car every day. I mean, I look forward to driving it. Sometimes I just go drive around, just to drive. I mean, I know a lot of people watching this probably do the same thing, because you're probably a car guy or girl, car person. But like I said, it's definitely the most fun car I've ever driven, and I've driven quite a few cars. So, but if you live somewhere like Kansas, I don't think I could recommend, if you lived in Kansas, at least the parts of Kansas I've been to, where everything's like flat and straight. I mean, if you want it, like, go for it, but just know, like, it's the turns where this car shines, the curves. I mean, it's just, that's where I have the most fun. But another thing is driving to school all the time through this part of the neighborhood is I get to see all kinds of awesome cars. Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Bentleys. I saw a Huracan last Thursday, actually on this road, about a mile up, and that was awesome. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear, but the radar was going off. Not that I'm speeding or anything, but still I like to know where the cops are, so it's really why I have it. I did watch a video on YouTube. I think it was Speed Factory 86 or something like that. It had something to do with the BRZ, FRS, GT86 lineup, and they replaced the springs for the return on the shifter, so that they're just a little bit stiffer, so it goes back to neutral a little bit quicker. So I wouldn't mind doing that, because it's just a spring, and it's I think that'd be a good mod, just more for driver feel. I will say, like this morning, it's 37 degrees out, and it's warmed up a couple degrees since I left the house. It was very, very, very notchy going into second gear from first. And granted, yes, the car was cold, but I did let it kind of warm up a little bit. Now I know that doesn't have anything to do with the transmission because it's a manual, but still, it was like, I don't know, it almost felt like it wasn't going to go into second, and I don't know, it's just it's the first time it's done that, so kind of a little unnerving. So there are a lot of people out today. Usually I might pass 4 cars, 5 cars. All about that cheap life. Come on, go. Entrance ramp. Let's speed up. Slow down. Yeah, so once you kind of open it up, get into it a little bit, it starts to, sounds, you get more sound out of it, and I know there's a little tube to kind of pump some of the sound in there, but, I still enjoy it. I don't hate, but that's where an exhaust would be nice, just so you get a little bit more notes, especially like when you go to take off, it'd be pretty hard. Like, I don't have the stereo on for obvious reasons, but I don't want to get copyrighted. But like normally, if you have the radio just barely on and you go to take off from the light, you can't hear it at all. I like a little bit of rumble. A little rumble is good. I used to have a Corolla, and it was an XRS model, so if you happen to know anything about it, it had a Yamaha motor from the factory. They only made them for 2 years, and so it was a little bit quicker. Same motor that's in the Celica GTS and Lotus Elise. So, but I had a straight dump, like right where you sat, just 90 down to the ground, and it still had too much back pressure, and it was so freaking loud. Like, I loved it, but man, it was so freaking loud. So with this car, I definitely just want a nice note, but not something too crazy. Something I can I daily it, so I don't want to go deaf. My fiance is deaf. I already know how to sign, so yes, that's a deaf joke. Alright, well, I'm almost to school, so I'm going to cut this off.